let me make sure I say this. I am no way an expert. I'm not a professional. I'm not a psychologist. I'm 25 years young. I'm inexperienced. So everything I say is my complete opinion. With that being said, viewer discretion is advised. This is in no way a political video. I am not telling you what to think. I am not telling you who to vote for. This is all opinion based and a little bit fact based. So what I want to go ahead and do in this video is I want to clarify some of the things I said in my last video, as well as add on to others. First of all, I want to mention that I didn't realize I wasn't using my microphone up until after I uploaded the video. I was listening to it and I'm like, okay, why is this sounding different? Why does this sound weird? It sounds like there's an echo. It's not like originally when I first started experimenting with it. And then I realized that my microphone wasn't connected and that I was using my computer's built-in microphone, which is why I was able to capture my dog barking most of the time and why it sounded as if it was echoing a lot. So I apologize about that. And, moving forward, I'm going to make sure that my microphone is always connected. Second of all, I mentioned it, but I apologize about my dog barking. He's a very attention-seeking dog. What dog isn't? But
Dude, you good? Why are you so loud? I'm trying to record a video. You're so needy, my goodness.
But he's inside. He's nice and he's sleeping. He's resting right now, so we won't have that issue. Another thing I wanted to address was the whole Instagram issue. The reason I got off of Instagram, and specifically Instagram, because of the measures that were taken against me. I mentioned that Zuckerberg didn't like what I was posting, which is one of the reasons why my account got restricted or basically censored. I was posting a lot of right-wing ideas. I was giving my opinions based off of a certain political affiliation. And the way everything is working, the way, social media and all of these tech companies are ran is they, unfortunately, I wish it wasn't like this, but unfortunately, they have a political motive in mind, and they will push the propaganda algorithms to the top. And they have a certain political direction that they want you to lean towards. Whether we like it or not, they do. And mine was going against the direction that they wanted. And so one thing that has been big is that there's all these tech companies like Twitter, like Facebook, like Instagram, and even YouTube that are updating and upgrading their algorithms to push the certain political affiliations down the list. So they won't be recommended as often, and they even go as far as deleting some. So there's a whole, like the whole QAnon conspiracy. Some of these words I don't even want to use because of YouTube's algorithm. YouTube has an algorithm that even by hearing the audio in this video, and if they hear certain keywords that are red flags to them, guess what? That video is going to be pushed down the list. So there are words I won't be using as much. And like I said, this isn't a video to push you into a certain political affiliation. This is just why I was restricted and what I'm basically doing about it. And I want to get this information out there. So in case this is happening to you, or in case you know of someone like this, you know why. To be honest, I see it as a good thing. I see it as a good thing that my account got deleted by Instagram. Here's why. A multi-billion-dollar social media platform found the information I was posting to be that much of a threat to where they had to take action against me. A multi-billion-dollar social media platform. That is, okay, I can check that off the list. I got deleted by $1 billion social media platform because they saw me as a threat. So to be honest, I see it as a good thing, and it helped me get off of social media for that reason. But I wanted to clarify that. I wanted to clarify that, yes, I quit Instagram, but it was mainly because of the restrictions I had. I wasn't able to like anything. I wasn't able to comment on anything. I wasn't able to tag anybody or any hashtags. Whenever I would write in my description for a certain post and I would post it, as soon as it would post, the description would be deleted. And it happened for 4 weeks. So for 4 weeks, I couldn't do anything of that. Which that was one of the driving forces that got me off of social media, specifically Instagram. Now, the reason I'm saying this is because there are a lot of people like me, a lot of pages that got deleted, a lot of pages that got removed because of the information that they were putting. And I want to add, some of these can be seen as conspiracies, but a lot of what people post are truths. And social media and these platforms aren't necessarily taking drastic measures to control misinformation or disinformation. They're taking drastic measures to censor the truth. These social media platforms are the same platforms that are ran and controlled by the bigger players that are working with the bigger players. And what I mean by bigger players, it can be something as like the meat and dairy industry or the pharmaceutical industry and all of that. They will get paid to push a certain affiliation, certain opinions and certain thoughts so they can make the masses move and react and do certain things. You know, nowadays you can't necessarily lean on mainstream media for your factual information. Right now, everything, it's so biased that you really do have to outsource all of the information that you want to smaller parties. Just because smaller parties are less likely to be taken over by these big players. Because these small parties don't mean anything. You know, these small news networks aren't big enough to catch that much attention to where they need to, in a way, take over and control what they're saying. I mean, eventually it's going to get big enough. Eventually these small news networks will get big enough to where it's like, hey, now they're going to become a threat to mainstream media. But right now they don't see it as a threat to where they need to remove all of it. I mean, I guess now they do, just because they're getting rid of small accounts that talk about certain topics that they don't like, that they don't want. One thing that is interesting and gets me is if they're willing to censor channels and they're willing to censor accounts and people that have this political affiliation, they're willing to censor them, they're willing to delete their account, yet they're not taking these drastic measures against like something as sensitive as pedophilia or other governing bodies out there talking about like mass murder, death to our country and all of that. They're not taking any drastic measures against these people, these groups that can be a lot more dangerous, yet they're taking these drastic measures against people who talk good on our president. That's a red flag. At least to me, that's a red flag. Why do they have to censor these political views? And why aren't they censoring something like pedophilia? They're not taking these drastic measures against pedophilia, but they're taking these drastic measures against the QAnon community. I don't get that. There's a quote by Denzel Washington on one of his interviews on YouTube that he says, and during these ages, if you watch the news, you're misinformed. If you don't watch the news, you're uninformed. So whether you watch it, you're misinformed, and if you don't, you're uninformed. So what do you do to get your real information and to get informed? You do your own research. You look into it yourself. You don't take the advice. You don't take the opinions of other... No, I'm sorry. Let me rephrase that. You do take in the opinions, but you ultimately decide on your own. And that's where your own research comes in hand. Because you're only going to decide for yourself if you do your own research. And a lot of people aren't doing their own research. Why? Because it takes time away from all of their visual stimulations. It goes back to my first video. It takes time away from what they're addicted to. And that's fine. Doing our own research isn't for everybody. And that's fine. That's where people like me come in hand, or other bigger pages that will do the research and will post it there for you to see. They'll summarize it. And that's what I was doing with my Instagram before I got censored. And sure, I can go back to it, but like I said, I don't care anymore. Right now, I'm just focused on me, focus what I gotta do, share some of the information that I know as far as what I'm doing to get me there, and hopefully other people can use that to propel their life towards the direction that they want, with as little distractions as possible. I was disabled by Instagram for 30 days. And the only thing they didn't even send me an email. They didn't give me a reason why. They just said your account's disabled. That's it. And it's the not giving the reason that is the red flag. Why was I censored? Why was I restricted? And I wasn't even given a reason. And then when I try logging in, it gives me the option to submit a request to have my account reviewed within 30 days. I submit a request. It says enter your phone number and enter the code. I enter my phone number. I enter the code. Nothing. I get no code. I'll re-enter my number in different formats and I'll hit send a new code, send a new code. I will get nothing. So is there some technical difficulties there to where I'm not receiving the text, or is it done intentionally to where they don't want me to receive that text because they don't want me to submit a review because they don't want me back on Instagram? And I could have decided to make a new one and then continue it, but at that point I was like, I give up. No, let me rephrase that. I don't give up. I don't care anymore. I don't care. And I think that's the good thing, is that I don't care anymore, so it's not a big deal to me. Fuck it. No bang this time. Just coffee. I realized that there's no way I'm going to drink another bang just because of how much caffeine it has. I'm trying to take my caffeine detox seriously. So my first step is to lower my consumption, and then that way I can go cold turkey. Because if I try going cold turkey, I tried it once and that was a mess. 1 week straight, constant headaches. I felt like someone was stabbing me in the head. That's how it felt. It was crazy. I've never had withdrawals before up until the day I decided to quit caffeine, which was 2-3 years ago. I was drinking 2 Rockstars a day, went complete cold turkey. A whole week straight I had headaches. Whole week straight. I didn't realize I was having those headaches, and I didn't realize I was having withdrawals until like the 3rd or 4th day when I started doing my own research. I started diagnosing myself. I'm like, yo, I'm having withdrawals. It was crazy. That's it. I'm trying to be human again.